Okay, this is where you really step into impact. This is where you really step into, oh my gosh, how can I change the world? How can I really step into growth? How can I really step into growing every single day? It's that 1% improvement stuff that we've talked about in the podcast, right? This is where you go, you know what? Now I'm going to work on me. I'm going to work on growth. I'm going to work on becoming the best person I possibly can. I'm going to work on helping other people. I'm going to work on solving big problems that helps other people. I'm going to work on things that last well beyond me physically in this world. I'm going to work on my family and helping them succeed. I'm going to work on these other things. That's where self-actualization comes, guys. This is being. This is where we're self-actualized. This is where we're not doing, we're being, and we're happy being the person that we are. And we don't have to go do things to be happy and fulfilled.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Carrot Cast. Now, the Carrot Cast, we're usually diving in doing interviews with amazing real estate investors, amazing real estate agents. Now, in these episodes, every Thursday, they're the Trevor Truck Talks, where you get to hear behind the scenes of the mindset shifts I'm going through as a CEO of one of the fastest growing companies in America, and the mindset shifts you can take to run your business and win back your freedom as well. Let's dive into this episode.
Alrighty, y'all. I'm back to talking into my phone. So if you guys remember the last Trevor Truck Talk, I experimented with a little microphone that someone sent me in the mail. I have no clue who sent it to me, but thank you for whoever did. And I got the quick word from Brady, who runs the technical side of the podcast, and he said that microphone's a 1 out of 5. So I'm switching back to talking directly into my phone as I'm driving home. So guys, I'm driving home right now. It's about 8 o'clock on a Wednesday. And this isn't my normal time to drive home. I just had a chance to hang out with a couple of our Carrot team members and really just talk life and talk, philosophy. And so in the about 6 minutes I have before I get home, I'm going to walk you through something I'm processing right now. So a really good question that one of my leaders, one of my team members asked, he said, I haven't had the trust to ask someone in this position yet in my life, and I trust you. I'm going to ask you this question. It was basically like, there's the question of, because you have money, are you able to say these things that you maybe wouldn't have been able to say when you didn't have money? And it's like around contentment. It's around, the things that really matter in life aren't this work stuff, or it's not the money, it's this other stuff, which is family and faith and friends, and all those things actually matter. But are you able to say that because you've gotten over the hurdle to where money is not the need anymore, right? And that's a valid question. That's like a really valid question. I asked that question as well when I was kind of on the come up, where I'd wonder, and I would talk with people far more successful than me, and then they'd end up like almost bursting my bubble, where I would say, man, once I get to that spot, I just know that things are going to change, right? And they're like, no, those things that you hope are going to change are not going to change, and they're still going to be a challenge for you. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, not really though. You can only say that because you're already in that spot, and you're saying it because you've already got the money burden lifted from your shoulders, right? And so that was the essence of the question I got tonight. And I started thinking about it as I was walking to my truck, and I pulled up and I voxed this amazing team member of mine my actual answer. And let me kind of tell you guys what my thought is on it. So the big thing is, if you're wondering that same question, if you've talked with people who are maybe more successful financially than you, or you've listened to this podcast and you've heard some of the things that I've said, and you said, Trevor, of course you can say those things, right? Of course you can say those things because financially you're at a spot where you don't need to worry about, the basics, or you don't need to worry about the car or the house, or you just don't even have to think about money when you're buying stuff, right? Did you think the same things when you were making $50,000 a year, or $60,000 a year, or $100,000 a year? Did you think the same things? And that's a very valid question. So the thing I think that we should all think about is there's Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs, right? Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs. You guys Google it, go look it up. It's something everyone should look at up and know. And I'm not gonna nail this, right? Because I'm on my phone. I don't want to crash as I'm driving, but the essence of Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs is something like this. At the bottom of it is your food, water, shelter. It's the basics, okay? Now, those things, yes, yes, we do need to. Well, it's physiological, right? So physiological is your food, your water, your shelter, whatever. Those things, guys, money can solve those. Money should solve those. Okay, so yes, if you're in that spot, or if I was in that spot before, yes, money does make a difference to get the shelter, okay, to get the food in my body, to get the basics of the necessities. 100%, yes, money does make a difference in that, okay? What's up next now is safety, okay? So safety is, I'm just going to rattle through a few things here. Do I live in a house in a neighborhood that I feel is safe now? Okay, so I got my basic needs taken care of, and I've got shelter, food, and water, right? But do I feel safe in my shelter? Do I feel safe in the neighborhood that I'm in? Do I feel safe in the relationship that I'm in? Even though I've got food, water, shelter, maybe I don't feel safe because of my spouse, or I don't feel safe because of my family, or whatever it is, okay? So that's the very next thing. Once I get that food, water, shelter taken care of, then I've got to go, man, I got to get out of the situation because it's not safe, or yes, I am safe, okay? So that right there, can money help solve that? Yes, it can, right? It can, because if you feel like you're tied to a relationship or tied to a home because that's unsafe, because you don't have the money to go move out on your own, 100%, yes, money can solve that one, okay? Definitely. So let's move up it. There's love and belonging. Okay, and then there's esteem and self-actualization. So love and belonging. Can money solve that one? So guys, here's the deal. The further up these we get, the less we can actually solve them with money. The further down Maslow's hierarchy of needs we go, the more they actually are solved with money. The problem is so many people right now, and myself included in the past, so many people right now, we're trying to solve things at the top of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, self-actualization, esteem, even loving and belonging, which is right in the middle. We're trying to solve those with money, okay? Money can only solve the things that are solved with money. After that, you cannot solve those problems with money. They're solved by self-work. They're solved by faith in something bigger than you. They're solved by really diving in and figuring out, man, I need to get out of the gap and I need to get into the gain. What have I grown in? What have I improved in? Not where do I need to go that I haven't been, right? So love and belonging. Can this be solved with money? Probably a little bit, right? Probably a little bit, because if you don't have a certain level of money and you got your food and shelter taken care of, you're in a safe situation. But if you physically actually cannot go out there and let's say go on a date and pay for a date, if you physically cannot go out there and clean yourself to a point to where you can feel like the people that you want to connect with are going to connect with you because of your physical state, which, guys and gals, everyone listening to this, that's probably not the case, right? Then it's not a money thing, I don't feel. I think at that point, it's a confidence thing. It's a stepping into your own thing. It's something that money cannot solve. Now, can be buying nice clothes and having a fancy car and buying that person fancy gifts. Can those help with the process? I'm sure they could, right? I'm sure they could help with the process. And that's where we're kind of going with Maslow's, is right in the middle is love and belonging. That's when I think we start to make the shift from needing money to where money is more of an assist versus a need. Okay. So yes, can money help with that? I think it can. But also, love and belonging has nothing to do with money at the root of it. It's the connection with the people. It's the connection with the conversation of things that money doesn't influence. If someone loves you and you feel like you belong because you have a fancy car, that's not love or belonging. That's fleeting. That's something that's not gonna be there for long term. Okay. If you feel like you have to get the car to belong to this crowd, maybe that's not the crowd you should actually belong to. If you actually have to have the car to belong, what if you took the car away? Could you still belong? Well, if you couldn't, then that's not a club I want to be a part of, right? Because they don't love you; they love the fact that you had a car, right? So let's go up Maslow's some more. Esteem, guys. So esteem, I don't know how they're going to define this. Esteem, I'm going to give you my definition, but this, I think at this point, I'm going to use self-esteem. Okay, so this is feeling good about yourself. This, you know what? I feel confident in the person that I am. I have a house, I have food, my water, I feel safe. I'm in an environment where I don't have to just flee for my life all the time or think about protecting myself. I can actually have the space to think about other things versus protection. And now it's enabled me to really go out there and get to know people and feel belonging to a group of people that I care about for good reasons, and grow love with people that I care about for good reasons. I feel good about myself now, right? I feel good about the person that I have become and the person that I am becoming. And that esteem, that self-esteem, that esteem now removes the deficiencies in our life. When we have those things and we have that self-esteem, we're now no longer deficient from the key things in our life. We're no longer deficient from the needs that we have. Okay? So now this is where we step into self-actualization. Okay? This is the cool thing, guys. On the other ones I just mentioned, motivation decreases as needs are met. Motivation for physiological needs, for housing, for water, for shelter, decreases the needs are met. Motivation for safety decreases as those needs are met. Motivation for love and belonging decrease as you've met those needs. No motivation for esteem or self-esteem decrease as those needs are met. Okay, but then once you cross this line up into self-actualization, the motivation increases as needs are met. Okay, this is where you really step into impact. This is where you really step into, oh my gosh, how can I change the world? How can I really step into growth? How can I really step into growing every single day? It's that 1% improvement stuff that we've talked about in the podcast, right? This is where you go, you know what? Now I'm going to work on me. I'm going to work on growth. I'm going to work on becoming the best person I could possibly can. I'm going to work on helping other people. I'm going to work on solving big problems that helps other people. Okay, I'm going to work on things that last well beyond me physically in this world. I'm going to work on my faith. I'm going to work on my community. I'm going to work on my family and helping them succeed. I'm going to work on these other things. That's where self-actualization comes, guys. So that's being needs, okay? The other ones are deficiency needs, where I have a deficiency where I can't physically operate to my capacity. You need to take care of those. This is being. This is where we're self-actualized. This is where we're not doing, we're being, and we're happy being the person that we are. And we don't have to go do things to be happy and fulfilled, okay? This is where, like I said, motivation increases as needs are met. We go, man, that worked amazingly. Well, that was so fun. That gave me so much juice. That gave me so much energy. I want to go do that again. I want to go help those people again. I want to go put more energy and life into that. Okay. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because that question that my team member asked, an amazing question, it's one I've asked many, many times as well, is no. Those needs, those things that you just mentioned do not go away, because the question you asked are self-actualization questions. Maybe some of them are esteem questions. And then if that's still popping up, then we have to ask the question of, we have to go all the way to the bottom of the Maslow's deal. We have to say, are our needs actually met with shelter, water, and food? Okay, if they're not, we need to go take care of that to bring up our esteem. Are we actually taken care of with safety, or do I feel unsafe or unsecure? We got to go tackle that then. Okay, or do I feel love and belonging to a group of people that I care about? If not, we got to go tackle that. And then that's going to build our esteem. Once that's built, now we can step into self-actualization. And it doesn't matter how much money you have, guys and gals, you cannot buy self-actualization. So if you're hoping that making more money is going to get you there, if you're hoping making more money is going to give you more fulfillment, going to give you more, going to give you more of that feeling of, you know what, I've finally got life by the tail. It won't, guys. It won't. Money can take care of the other 3 to 4 at the bottom, but it can't take care of self-actualization at the top. So hopefully this is impactful for you. Hopefully you listen to this. Team members who ask those questions, great question. And guys, pull up Maslow's, because I think it can be transformational for you. All right, guys, so I'm getting home right now, talking quiet because the kids are probably getting close to bed. But guys, I appreciate you. Love you all. Hopefully you got a lot out of this episode. Give a rating and review as always. And share this episode with somebody. If there's somebody suffering with that challenge where they're always chasing the new, the bigger, the better, and they think that the more money is going to help them get there, maybe they need the realization that if they've got those 4 or 5 needs taken care of already, money will not help them get self-actualized. That's something that they have to work on internally themselves. They've got to step into into the being versus becoming. That's where they've got to step into the thinking about the gain versus the gap. All right, guys. So I'm gonna head in, hang out with the family a little bit before bedtime. But love y'all. Have an amazing rest of the week.